Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. This is another Gary, Indiana video. And on this video, we are going to drive by Michael Jackson's house. The Jackson family's house, rather. Now, of course, I can't leave Gary, Indiana without letting everybody know that Gary, Indiana is the home of Michael Jackson, R.I.P. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone already knew that, but
take the next left onto East 25th Avenue.
But for those of you, for some reason that did not know where Michael Jackson came from, Gary, Indiana is Michael Jackson's home.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Jackson Street.
So yeah, most likely they got his house all fenced in and everything. I believe they turned it into a museum. Now, back in the late 1980s and back in 1989, there was a song called 2300 Jackson Street that Michael Jackson wrote. So we're going to drive down that street and go by that house. 2300 Jackson Street, here in Gary.
Turn right onto Jackson Street. Take the next left onto Van Buren Street, then turn left onto West 26th Avenue. Head west on West 25th Avenue toward Jackson Street, then turn left onto Van Buren Street.
All right, we're going
in 1,000 feet, your destination will be on the left. Your destination is on the left.
All right, folks, we're gonna have to go back around the block. But yeah, folks, this is Michael Jackson's stomping grounds right here. I'm gonna see if I can get you guys a view of Michael Jackson's house that he grew up in. I'm gonna get one. All right, folks, you see those two houses? Now that small house that far small house closest to Jackson Family Boulevard, I believe, that's the house that the Jackson family, that's the house that the Jackson family grew up in. And then, of course, they got that house right by it. Now, both of those houses are fenced in, and as I've anticipated, they have turned those two houses into a museum. I just saw a couple of people a minute ago go inside. So, we're going to keep on driving. I'm going to show you guys. We're going to just drive through this neighborhood for a minute. And as we're driving through this area, normally when I first make a video of the city, when I go through the downtown, I like to give all the general information about the city. Any history about the city that I found interesting, I like to share that as well. Now, I did not do that this time. This time I took a different approach in making these Gary, Indiana videos. So, here's some basic information about Gary, Indiana. Now, Gary, Indiana has got I don't know, I might make this my very first video of Gary, I don't know. But anyhow, here's some basic information about Gary. Now, Gary is currently got a population of 74,693 people. It has been shrinking. It has shrunk by 8.3% as of the 2020 census. And the population density is 1,502 people. Oh, another thing to note about Gary is a lot of these traffic lights have been turned off, and instead they put up stop signs. FYI, if you drive through Gary for any reason. But anyways, the median home price here is $57,100. However, in this current housing market, if you want anything decent, then plan to pay at least $80,000 for a house. Now this neighborhood I'm driving through right now, there's a good chance that if you have at least 80 grand for a house, you might be able to find something around here or in a neighborhood similar to this one here in Gary. Now, Gary, Indiana is not only the home of Michael Jackson, but it is also the home of many of your professional athletes. And for those of you that are baseball fans, there's the Gary South Shore Railcats Stadium here in Gary, where I guess apparently the games that are played by semi-professional baseball players. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you folks, I don't keep up on sports. I'm not a sports person, so I don't know what semi-professional means. I guess it means that they're extra good. I don't know. Maybe they get paid for their games. But anyhow, there's the Gary South Shore Railcats baseball stadium for those of you that are into baseball. And also, you can go to the Gary Auditorium. For those of you that are history buffs, you can go to the Gary Auditorium, get some history about this city. For those of you that are into environmental stuff, you can go to the Paul H. Douglas Center. And of course, you got your beaches and casinos and parks here in Gary too. I mean, as you guys know, or should know, Gary, Indiana is right off the lake of Michigan. So you got beaches. And you're only 33 minutes outside Chicago. So if what Gary has going for entertainment does not excite you, obviously you can take a short 33-minute drive into Chicago. Now, once again, right down the street from some of the worst looking parts of Gary, you got this. This is literally right down the street, as you all can see. You got a bunch of newer houses. That brick one looks a little pricey. So I guess if you have a little bit of money and you want to live in Gary, you can come around this community and buy something. I mean, if I had to take a guess, you're gonna pay a good couple $100,000 or so for one of these houses. At least a couple hundred, if I had to take a guess. And remind you, this is Gary, Indiana that I'm driving through right now. This is still Gary. I mean, if we're gonna do Gary, Indiana videos, then I'm not gonna just show you guys the parts of Gary that are messed up, that are tore up, which I hate to say, but that's probably most of the city, or well over 50% of the city. But you know, I'm gonna also drive you guys through some of these communities like this one, just regular working class communities, hardworking people. I mean, just to show you guys that not everyone who lives in Gary, Indiana, or cities like Gary, Indiana, are out here in the streets. You got folks that get up in the morning, or go to work 10, 12 hours a day, and come home and take care of business. Now, I do believe that this city does have potential. However, the power structure at B needs to be changed. Now I'm gonna drive you guys through some rougher parts of this neighborhood. Now remind you, now just in case you guys haven't noticed, I do not edit none of my videos. So these videos I make are not edited. They are raw. They are 100% raw and uncut. What you see is what you get. I don't edit these videos. I record. I press the record button on my phone, and then whenever I get a chance, I upload them on YouTube. So these videos are not recorded. These are raw, uncut. So as I drive you guys through neighborhoods like this, and then I take you into neighborhoods like the neighborhood that I drove you guys through a second ago with all those newer houses, what you see is what you see. In fact, let's see here. Turn around here. All right, folks, I'm going to end it right here. Everybody have a blessed one, and I'll see you guys on the next video.